The restlessness approached hysteria.
Shall we?
You've been lied to. Pop culture tells us the 1920s were all jazz, flappers, and endless wealth. But if you stepped into a standard luxury home in 1924 today, you wouldn't feel like a millionaire, you'd feel like you were in a survival horror game. Today, we're standardizing the 1920s. From your wallpaper trying to gas you, to your medicine containing actual radiation, the good old days were a death trap. Today, we're measuring the 1920s against a modern yardstick. This is standardized history. Let's start with comfort. Today, we complain if the AC is 2 degrees off. In 1924, central heating meant a massive coal-burning monster in your basement. If you were rich, you didn't have to shovel the coal yourself, but you still breathed in the soot. Your curtains, your lungs, and your skin were constantly covered in a fine layer of standard 1920s dust. And then there was the decor. To get those vibrant greens and yellows, manufacturers used lead and arsenic. If your house got damp, the walls literally released toxic gas while you slept. To make it worse, the standard for fire safety was asbestos. It was in the ceiling, the floor, and I'm not kidding, people even bought pure asbestos snow to decorate their Christmas trees. You were choosing between a house fire or lung disease. There was no middle ground. But surely the medicine was better, right? Not exactly. The safety standard for drugs back then was basically whatever works. As we saw with Coca-Cola, cocaine was a common ingredient for nerve tonics. But it gets weirder. Meet Radithor was literally distilled water infused with radium. It was marketed as an energy drink for the wealthy. One billionaire, Eben Byers, famously drank 3 bottles a day until, well, his jaw literally fell off. In 1924, if you were tired, the standard cure was radiation. If you had a cough, the standard was heroin-infused syrup, without antibiotics, which wouldn't be standardized for another 2 decades. A simple scratch from a rosebush could be a death sentence. Life wasn't just shorter, it was more dangerous at every turn. So, what did it cost to live this luxury nightmare? Let's look at the data. A high-end monitor top refrigerator cost $525. In today's money, that's over $9,000. A simple vacuum cleaner, $1,050. To own a smart home in the 1920s, you needed the equivalent of a modern 6-figure salary, just to have a kitchen that didn't require daily deliveries of literal ice blocks. Technology was moving fast, but the standard of living was still incredibly expensive. The 1920s had style, no doubt. But looking back through a standardized lens, it's clear that our basic life today is more luxurious than the wildest dreams of a 1924 oil tycoon. We've traded the glamour of the Gatsby era for something much better. Safety, health, and a fridge that doesn't cost as much as a car. Which part of 1920s life would you find the hardest to survive? Let me know in the comments. I'm Josh, and this has been Standardized History. Subscribe for our next deep dive into the 1930s.